Hello, Dr. Penku again, and I'd like in this video to talk about the Smart Book and the Learnsmart assignments that you'll be doing in this course. Now you hopefully got my email telling you about the textbook options in this course, and you don't necessarily have to buy the textbook that you see right here, the 9th edition of Mader's Understanding Human Anatomy and Physiology. The Connect site that you will go to right away the first day of the class is going to have an ebook for you. Now, remember you have a 2-week free trial to this site, so take advantage of it right away and see if you really need a hard copy of the textbook. You will have access to the ebook while you are taking your unit exams, but of course not while you're taking your diagram exams. So let's take a look at the learning units again. Go into Unit 1. And here's where you'll find your Learnsmart assignments. Learnsmart is like flashcards. Students really like this. You really have to give yourself enough time to do it. And if you do it through the Smart Book, which is the best way, by the way, you'll be doing a little bit at a time. It's a program that determines how much you have learned, and if you haven't learned the information, it will keep asking you questions on the same information until you get it. So you can see that you have 4 Learnsmart assignments in this first unit. And these will be due on September the 21st. Each has 100 points and it's graded on the level of completion. So if you complete 80% of the assignment, then you get a 80 out of 100. So let's click on this first one, and this is going to take us to the ebook. That's the screen you'll see, the Smart Book. Now over here, these 3 little black lines will be where you find your menu, right? So you can search. If there's a particular topic that you are looking for, you can search, or you can go to the table of contents, and that's exactly where I think you should start, right here in Organization of the Body. That's Chapter 1.
You've been reading for some time now, but you haven't stopped to practice.
Now, did you hear her? Well, this is your guide, and if you've been reading or you have this open for a period of time and you haven't done any of the Learnsmart yet, then she will remind you, and sometimes she's very annoying, she will remind you to do practice. Now, practice is where you're going to find the Learnsmart. If you'd like to shut off these tiles, you can do that here. And here you see, we'll get rid of her, the reading in the Smart Book. Okay. You can highlight it if you want to. One thing you notice here is things are really dim. Students didn't like that, and they probably didn't realize that the reason it was dim is because the highlight was on. So turn off the highlight and then you'll see everything. The publisher likes to highlight certain things that they think are most important. Really, everything in this chapter is important because you will be tested on everything in the chapter. So you can read here. You can do this on portable devices as well. And after you've done some reading, then it's time to practice. Practice is going to be Learnsmart, and this is what Learnsmart looks like. You can see you have 60 items to complete. The branch of science concerned with the structure of body parts would be called, I think I know it. So you want to decide, do you know it? Do you think so? Are you unsure, or do you have no idea? If you want to read about it, you can certainly click on that and it will take you back to the place in the textbook. You can read about it. Right here we've got anatomy and physiology defined. So then you can go back to your Learnsmart card and say, I know it, right? I know it, and the answer is going to be anatomy, okay? I was fine with that. Now, what is the study of the function of the body and its components? Well, I know that from reading the textbook too. So that's physiology. And again, I'm going to click it. Now, what if you don't know the answer. The structural levels of organization of the body include, So I think it includes quadrants and cavities, maybe organ systems, I'm not sure. So I'm going to just think so. Oh, my answer was partially correct. Okay, so I can go here and read about this. If you don't agree with their answer, you can challenge it. That is going to just take you to a form to fill out for McGraw-Hill. Sometimes you hear back from them, sometimes you don't. Click OK, and you're going to go on to another one. Okay, so the questions are going to come back to you that you don't get correct the first time, but they'll come back to you in a different way. So it might have been a fill in a blank the first time that you didn't get. You might get it as multiple choice the next time. So you'll complete these until you have all of the items complete. Now you can read the entire chapter and then come back and do the Learnsmart, or you can do some of the Learnsmart, go back and read a little bit more. So as you've been reading, you're going to get reminders again from your lovely guide telling you it's time to read more about Learnsmart. Or excuse me, read more about the topic in the textbook. So a couple of other things you can do is take notes and underline if you like to do it. I'm not big on doing that kind of thing. I find it distracting if I underline. You can take notes on the PowerPoint slides, so you could print those out and take notes. They're a handy thing for you to go back to as you're taking the exam. Then another thing you'd like to take a look at is your reports. If you aren't sure if you finished your Learnsmart, your assignment, for example, you can go to your current learning status and find out what it is. You can look at what you missed most, what was your most challenging learning objectives. Okay. And see your topic scores. So how did you do? Here I have 2 out of 3 finished. And then you can find out what questions that you missed in organization of the body if you'd like to take a look at those. Okay. You can leave the Smart Book then. That's going to take you back to your Basic Connect site. That allows you to go back to Blackboard. So mess around a little bit in that Smart Book, get to know it. Here's a document that will tell you about getting to know your Smart Book and how to best use it. And after you've tried it for the first chapter, decide, is it okay with you to keep an e-copy, or do you want a hard copy? If you want a hard copy of the book, make sure that you buy it with access to Connect. After your 2-week free trial, then you'll just enter the access code. If you just want to stick with this, then you can enter your credit card number, or you can go to the bookstore and buy a card, which will give you an access code without the textbook. So that takes you through the Smart Book and also through Learnsmart.